C.J. Stroud's in his second year. You got some young weapons down there in Houston. A loss like that can cause maybe some concern going forward. D-Butt has a question about your concern going forward.
Yeah, tough loss at home in prime time. Now, I didn't hear this myself or hear directly from a player, should I say. I'm going to ask you. Heard the Texans had a players-only meeting, dreaded players-only meeting. Now, they are sitting on top of the AFC South, but what's your level of concern with that going forward?
Oh, no.
It's a great thing, right?
I have heard that there was a long players-only meeting. I am on record in the past discussing players-only meetings and what those generally mean for an organization. When I saw the first half on Sunday, I was very close to tweeting out, maybe it's the first players-only meeting in history that was productive and positive and worked. And then the second half happened. So I'm hoping that something more positive comes out. Maybe it needed to be longer. Maybe they needed double the length of players only.
Wasn't it they were saying 2 hours?
Multiple hours.
Jeez.
I did hear 2 hours. I have no direct sources, but I did hear 2 hours.
Fuck
that is an extensive.
are you doing for 2 hours?
That's wow.
Everybody on the team got 10 minutes? All right, everybody in here gets 10 minutes. Kaimi, you're first. Fairbairn, what are your thoughts? I missed the 58-yarder. It's the first 50-yarder that I've ever missed, seemingly, this year, and we got to be better attention. Okay, long snapper, Wiggs, get up there, pal. What do you got? Okay, CJ, Will, Nico. Is it everybody talking? Is there a presentation?
It's a long meeting, man. It's a long meeting. I don't know what. That's just a long meeting in general. 2 hours. It doesn't matter if it's the head coach running it, if it's the players running it. That's a long time to be in that meeting room.
I hope there was a presentation.
Plays, something.
Yeah,
plays.
I hope there was maybe some pictures.
Presentation.
Jage, can you tell people that have never been a part of a players only meeting, how do they usually go? Like, what's usually the vibe? How do you, when you walk?
Yeah. Most players only meetings are, I'm biased here, so I can't. I choose to believe that this one is different than a lot of the ones.
Of course,
they're a team that's
just
considered to be a Super Bowl contender
in general.
But other ones, there is a lot of there's one guy up there that's like, "Hey guys, I'm going to take control of this. We're going to get this under control right away." And there's a lot of people in the room rolling their eyes, laying back in their seats, kind of waiting. And then there's definitely one guy speaking that should not be speaking in front of the team ever.
Every time,
for sure. And he's going to try and rally the troops and really give his go of it, what he's seeing from the sidelines that he thinks the team needs to work on.
Nice.
And that guy's always a fucking idiot.
Yes, yep, always. That is true. Yeah, every team has that too, yeah.
And then somebody tries to bring it back around, and they're like, all right, so we're going to take away from this is that we all need to come in a little earlier. We all need to stay a little later. We all need to really give it a good go this week, as the Jets say, 3 good weeks of practice. We need that, and then we're going to be good. And it just ends, and everybody leaves and immediately starts talking to their close clique of friends. Like, God, that was fucking dumb.
Talking shit about everybody's speech.
Can you believe what's his nuts got up there and said he played one snap one time, and he thinks he can tell us how to play.
Man, I have never heard anybody say that they like the players only meeting. But this next younger generation takes a little bit more ownership of shit, right?
Yeah.
They
Some of them. I don't know.
They're entrepreneurial.
Yeah, Patriots are 2-0 since their players only meeting. So
this younger generation might be different, because maybe they feel as if they can say stuff to each other that maybe coaches feel like they can't say to this generation.
Sure.
So maybe this batch of Utes, okay, in the NFL right now are the proper group for a players-only meeting because maybe they do need it. Maybe that is, but everyone I've been a part of, man, it turns into a comedy show.
The Patriots could be a little case study on it because their coach called them out publicly, which generally doesn't work for the most part. He called them soft publicly. That turned out to work well for him. They're 2-0 since the players-only meeting. Maybe they got something going there.
Oh,
young team.
That's a good point.
Gotta know your team. Players-only meetings are tough, but I think unit meetings or position groups. If you have a little
necessity,
because we watch the most film together. We spend the most time together. We're the most, and Big Mike. Conflict is good sometimes. So hey. Like, lock in, bro. Like, we see you in meetings. You're over here, you half-ass in walkthroughs, and then when your number's called, you up there, and you fucking up all of us now. You know what I mean? So those meetings, I think, can be productive. It just gets tough when you're in the offense, defense, special teams, and then everybody feels like they have to just say something because they're in there. So, but you got to know your team. You got to know your units. Got to know your teammates. But, yeah, it's players-only meetings.
Yeah, they're all tough. I think we all think about. Maybe this generation is different. Maybe they 2 hours in there is a long time.
Long time.
That's a long. I think that's a good thing, not a bad thing.
No, D-But's right though. It needs to be like organic though. Like you can't when you call a meeting time and then you have one guy who's a vet who's hey everybody in here we're having a players only meeting today. Like that's just never good. But in a position group, if you're watching practice or something and you see a guy that's been a turd for weeks and weeks, and a vet calls him out in front of the rest of that group, I think that can have very positive outcomes.
So Paul Gallant says, Z just pulled up this tweet. The Texans had a players-only meeting last Monday. Per John Alexander, they told us they had another one after Sunday night's L, and Jimmy Ward hinted there could be a third players-only meeting in the coming days.
My God.
Paul Gallant says a little concerning. No, maybe they're just adding a meeting to the schedule each week. It's like we're going to talk to each other. That is what we're going to do.
Just hang out.
Now,
Sounds terrible.
Jage, that's the Houston Texans, brother. Which leads me to this: Colts. Everything's still out there.
Doors open.
Everything.
Oh, no.
Let's go,
Yeah, let's go. We need.
No, I came into this show thinking we're not going to talk about the 4-6 Colts today, are we?
4 and 6.
We can't talk about that.
No players only meetings. Which part of the problem actually? I don't know how to handle this situation, but AFC South is wide open, Jage.